What is up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Dr. Hamas Tech, and today I'm going to give you my full review here with the OPPO Reno 10 Pro, a phone that I've actually been using for the past 2 weeks, and I do want to share with you guys some of the pros and cons that comes with this phone before you make your purchase decision. This is of course the younger brother to the 10 Pro Plus 5G, which I've already reviewed, and there are a lot of things that I do want to share with you guys. So yes, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Okay, so I'm going to start off here with the build and design on this phone, the holding experience on this phone. And I gotta say, this is where it's really good. Very similar to the 10 Pro Plus. So I do like the good weight to it for this phone. It does feel quite premium, I would say, not very lightweight either. And in case if you want to put it into your bag or into your pocket, you know, it's not too heavy in a sense compared to many other flagship phones that you kind of feel it in your pocket. So it's really nice and it's very convenient in terms of the weight. In terms of the sizes here, the width on the sides, I gotta say it looks really nice. It does have the curve on the sides here, on the side panel, so when holding it in your hand, it really feels very sturdy. I do like the plastic frame on the sides here, and also especially the glass on the back and on the front. It is also, again, does give you the premium feel, so it does feel very nice in hand. One thing I don't really like about this is the fact that it does give you the fingerprint smudges, not too much, not too bad compared to other glass phones, but it still does give you some smudges here and there, and most of the time I need to use it with my phone case here, which they do give you free right off the box. I do prefer the 10 Pro Plus design in terms of that matte finish, but again, this one here still isn't too bad. I do like the fact that although it's a little bit more glossy, but you don't get too many fingerprints on it, but still a little bit. And also the button layouts are very convenient. A lot of times when I'm watching my shows like that, I can just use the power button or the volume rockers on one side. I don't have to worry about touching on the other side here as well. So in terms of the holding experience, I would give this a nice solid 7 out of 10. Alright, so now we'll talk about the viewing experience, and this one does cover the display and also the speakers on this. So in terms of the display, I do like the large display that comes with here. 6.7 inch isn't too bad, and of course very nice because, you know, it does have the more rectangular shape. So in case you're watching all your movies, the 16:9 ratio, this one here fills in most of the gaps here. Even if you enlarge it, it still gives you a lot of screen display and screen ratio here, which I really do like. I of course do like the colors that comes with this. I've been watching a lot of The Witcher and also some shows, so I need that HD quality on this and a nice AMOLED display. And I am really happy to say that yes, I am actually getting it with this phone. I like the colors here, the vibrancy on this, and the brightness isn't too bad. Yes, it does peak out at about 950, but here in Malaysia, it still gets the job done in that sense. And just having a lot of screen on this phone is really nice. The 120 Hz as well works seamlessly, very nice as well. Very smooth and also very fluid in that sense. So I really like the whole display on this phone, really working very well. But one thing I do want to highlight with you guys is the fact that the speakers here are only a mono speaker. So you only have one down-frame speaker, which I think is one of the major turn off for me. At this price point for about 2,199, I did wish that they could have at least given us a stereo speaker setup. It couldn't be, maybe it shouldn't be, or it wouldn't be the best, but having a stereo speaker with an amazing display definitely helps a lot when you're watching your content or doing any other stuff. Like, it really makes a lot of things. Yes, the speakers here gets pretty loud and pretty clear in that sense, but again, a lot of times when I'm just watching shows, I really went back to my other phones that had the stereo speaker setup because, you know, just want to enjoy it. You know, it's better to have it, you know, both sides. And in case if you're gaming, sometimes if you're just blocking your hand on one of the speakers, you're just cutting off a lot of your sound. And in case if you guys need that stereo sound to know where your enemy is coming and all that, you're not going to get it with this phone, because again, it's very disappointing that they've given us only a down-frame speaker. If this phone was at about the $300 mark, I think they could have just cut it off. But at this $400 to $500 mark, I really did wish that the stereo speaker should be on this phone. For the viewing experience, I would give it a 6.5 out of 10 solely because of the speakers. Alright, so next thing I want to talk about here is the whole software experience, and this covers the hardware and the software side of things. So yes, in terms of the hardware, to be honest, not much of an issue over here. This phone feels very, very fluid, very fast. Multitasking on this as well is really good. As I mentioned before, the 778G is still a very capable processor. It is a mid-range chipset, again the highest range, pretty equivalent to the Snapdragon 860. So like I mentioned before, in terms of just multitasking, a lot of times when I just open up multiple apps, when I go back to my Chrome or go back to my Instagram, no problems whatsoever, which is really cool and amazing. So I don't have to worry about it as well. And just, you know, going through your gaming sessions and all this, you're not going to notice a lot of lags or stutters or whatsoever. Of course, you can boost it up with the RAM expansion feature. So on this side, I think the hardware is very capable. Software as well is very polished in a sense, but certain apps like Candy Crush and certain things I was doing, there were a little bit of some slow animations in that sense. I wouldn't say it's lags, it just happens all the time anyway. The game just runs a little bit slower. Not for your COD Mobile or PUBG, but for like simple games and all these other things. But other than that, just like moving around, you don't really notice a lot of bugs. ColorOS over here has been polished for many years already. So you can it does show here, even with a mid-range phone like this, that it still kind of performs very well, very similar to your flagship phones at the end of the day. And this is something I really do like. And in terms of the features here, it is very similar, which I really do like. So if you're transitioning from an older OPPO phone or maybe a higher end OPPO phone and you want to go down to this, you still feel very much at home. The experience here is very similar indeed. And one more thing I want to talk about here is the battery. The battery, I wouldn't say it's the best. I do get about less than a day of usage in terms of my screen on time. But what I like about this is the fact that you do get to power this up with the 80-watt brick charger right off the box. So in terms of the charging, you don't have to worry about it. But again, you have to use that proprietary charger wherever you go. So it is a bit of a hassle to bring it around, but you just need about 15 to 30 minutes to get the job done. For the software experience, I would give this a nice 7.5 out of 10. And of course, last but not least, let us talk about the camera experience with this phone. So in terms of what I can say about this is that it's a good camera, very versatile, but not the best. Like, I have taken a lot of shots, especially with the portrait mode, using the rear cameras, and I do notice that in terms of the edge detection, it isn't the most accurate in a sense, even with people. Sometimes, especially at the hairs, it doesn't really cut off that much, which is quite disappointing. But I do like the versatility on this. You get your ultra wide, you get your telephoto lenses, and of course you have a lot of camera features here, which I absolutely do enjoy at the end of the day. Video as well, it does get pretty stable, but if you're shooting under harsher lighting conditions, like more indoors and with less light, you can see the processing power that comes with this. Like, you can see the pixelation all around, which can be a little bit annoying. So in that sense, yes, it does give you a lot of stuff, but it doesn't do any specific part perfectly, which is again a bit of a bummer. But again, at this price point, you may kind of just forego this because it does come in at 2,199 ringgit. So you can expect not the flagship level experience with this phone. So other than that, I think that the camera for this, I would give this a nice solid 7 out of 10. Alright, so that is it with the OPPO Reno 10 Pro here. And of course, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this phone, or if you guys have any questions about this phone. Overall, I'm going to give this a good solid 7 out of 10 rating. Main thing here, the setback for me is the speaker on this, because this phone is really good at this price point, but again, with that missing stereo speaker setup, it is a bit of a bummer for me. Of course, these are just my thoughts and my opinions. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, do click the like and smash that subscribe button down below for more videos like this in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next one.